Real quick, before I turn in for the night. First, welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Damn it, I hate technology. Second, so a friend and I was just talking on the phone for probably an hour. And thirdly, happy Valentine's Day to everyone who has someone within a proximity of arm's reach. Fuck the shit out of them tonight and tomorrow. Because technically, Valentine's Day started like 30 minutes ago. Anyway, so my friend and I was talking about the Trump election. And he was talking about, we basically had the same, that was some bullshit theory. And what happened was, because he said the same thing, I think he went to bed earlier than I did. I know I went to bed about 3. And I obviously the news that I was watching was clearly late. I don't know what time Hillary conceded or whatever. But, so I went to bed. And I woke up the next day in the Twilight Zone. And he said the same thing, but up until today, he wasn't too terribly worried. But he didn't vote for him. He voted for Hillary just like I did. And he said, when he was watching it, whatever he was watching it, he said he looked at it, Hillary was in the lead, which is why he went to bed. I looked at it, Hillary was in the lead, and I went to bed. So great minds do think alike, and friends, they tend to follow the same patterns. And so I'm sitting there thinking, I went to bed that night, and I was like, there's no way in hell Donald Trump could win. And he told me he was thinking the only way that Donald Trump will win is if the hell froze over. I'm going to get him to talk on one of these one day. He won't be showing his face or anything for anonymity reasons. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, when I get up the next day, Hillary's going to be the president. He's going to be running, crying, and dancing in the streets. Everybody's going to be happy. Motherfuckers going to skip work and then some. And the total opposite happened. The next day was the clusterfuck from hell. Everybody that I know was probably stunned. Like we got the phasers were set on like mega stun, not kill but mega stun, because you can't run a country if everybody in it is dead, and basically we all felt like we had died that day. So there was crying in the streets. I didn't cry. I was so shocked that this asshat won that I was fucked up. He was fucked up. And then we both started talking about some of the things that he was doing in his campaign. And we both was like, this dude is a blatant fucking racist. And now he's the most powerful racist in the world. And then we were discussing stuff. He's like, yeah, he was talking about what happened on the Grammys last night with Busta Rhymes and them. So I'm gonna Google that. Agent Orange anyway. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, Agent Orange is actually a chemical that was used on some of our own guys at one time. I forgot which war it was, but I think it was like Vietnam or Korea, one or two. But it was definitely used. I think it was used against the fucking Marines. I can't really remember. You have to Google that shit. But they call him Agent Orange for a totally different reason. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, the only way that Donald Trump could win, I was thinking this the whole night, was that he made a hell of a deal with the devil, which means all of his children and his soul has probably been sold to the devil. But we were both thinking out, because before I went to bed, I was like, I looked at the thing. I said, the only way that Donald Trump could win is if hell freezes the fuck over. Well, congratulations, because hell froze over 3 times over, because this dude came in by a fucking long shot, and then he won by a landslide. I'm like, what the fuck happened? Now here's the funny thing about that. He has said that if he won, he wouldn't be talking about bogus voters and all this other shit and dead people voting twice and people voting in 2 states. But he won and did exactly the opposite. He started asking for a recount. It's like, but you fucking won. How are you gonna ask for a recount? And he's also a lying sack of ass hats, because he said that if he won, he would show us his tax returns. Well, you've been in there damn near a month, buddy. Where's your fucking tax returns? Or did you guys not pay attention to the campaign trail? I know that he said that because I was watching it, and it happened to happen before the black guy got to fighting with somebody who was a Hillary Clinton, and he said, "That's my African American." First off, let me quote one of my favorite comedians and idols. I'm not an African American. I am a black man. Do not call me African American. My ancestors were from Africa. My ass is black. And technically, I'm not even really a black man. I'm a multicultural man of Native American, black, and white descent. So I'm all American. But don't call me no damn African American. I've been to applications and jobs where people have seen me and didn't want me marking black, and I'm like, but I am black, and they're like, yeah, sure, you're black. Well, my damn birth certificate says Negro, so that makes me black. Because when I was born, they didn't have, I guess they didn't have other or whatever the hell. I guess they didn't probably want to put that shit. But clearly, my father, he looked black, but his mother was Native American and his father was black. And my mom looks white because her father's father was white and her mother's Native American. And there's some black in there somewhere, but I don't remember if it's on her daddy's side or her mother's side. But anyway, enough about that. The funny thing is that when my bro talked to me just now, he's like, I woke up that day and I couldn't believe that Donald Trump won. And I said, well, before I woke up, I heard the Twilight Zone music, and I woke up and realized that I was really in the Twilight Zone with no escape for 4 freaking years. Now, this is when my bro turned the tide on me. He said he wasn't worried until now, with North Korea firing missiles at Japan and threatening South Korea, and then they're also saying shit about China, and I'm like, this is not going to be good. And worse than that, Donald Trump is the president is supposed to represent the free world, and the only thing he's really representing in the free world is our freedom of speech, because he has no censor, and he just blatantly does not give a damn about what comes out of his mouth. And then there's Kellyanne Conway. May God have mercy on her soul. We all know that she's brown nosing like a motherfucker, but that's her job. No, I don't think she'll ever go back onto The View. I wouldn't say I blame her, because the ladies of The View, they don't play, and neither do the ladies of The Real. But the funny thing is, I didn't have a problem with Kellyanne Conway until she started dodging questions from Chuck Todd on Meet the Press. And this is the country that we're going to be in for 4 fucking years. And for you asshats that's going to probably try to give him a second term, I don't think that your safety is concerning you about the racist shit that this motherfucker's saying. But if you're not concerned that people will rise up and fuck you up because he's making it blatantly okay to be racist in America, it is never okay to be racist. If you want to be racist, you keep that shit behind your closed doors. Nobody's got to know. But I will tell you this. You come out the wrong place at the right time on the wrong damn guy and you say some racist shit, well, all the money in the world that Donald Trump has ain't going to save you from the racial ass whooping that you're going to receive from that racial receiving person of whatever racial slur that you blurted out without consciously thinking. There is no room in America for racists. And we all need to work on how to get rid of racism. Do we need an alien from Independence Day? Do we need Reapers from Mass Effect to come down so that we all know that there's only one race, the human race? Somewhere along the line, people are going to have to get a grip. Hopefully you guys will do it before the end of my lifetime. I'm James Mercier, just come for habit number 2. Be seeing you.